Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Planet Film Network. I am one of your hosts, Sean Mook.
And I'm your other host, TJ Cornwell. And tonight's the night. Tonight is the finale of Ahsoka, episode 8. So that comes out at 9. So we have about 29 minutes before that happens. But before that, we are going to talk about The Creator.
Yes.
The movie that came out last week, as well as Sean's going to give his thoughts on Gen V. I think just the first 3 episodes goes because that's what's out right now.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start Gen V because I haven't seen Gen V yet. What are your thoughts so far?
How come you haven't watched it yet?
I just haven't gotten to it. Are they all like the boys' length? Are they all like an hour?
Yeah. I mean, is The Boys always an hour?
I feel like it's usually around the 40-minute, like 45
Okay,
minutes.
then absolutely,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
I think it's like 39, 40, and 45 or something like that. And let us know in the chat, have you guys checked out Gen V? Have you checked out The Creator? And also, give us any thoughts, predictions on Ahsoka. We are going to be going live, and then we're going to be talking after the episode as well, giving our thoughts on kind of mainly the episode itself, but kind of, how we feel about the whole season. But speaking of the season, this show is awesome.
Okay.
Gen V is. I was worried too. Are you aware? You know who Hideo Kojima is?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, for those who don't know, he's a very famous. What would you? I mean,
Metal
I know.
Gear Solid.
Yeah. Okay. Metal Gear Solid. Yeah. I know he's super famous from. He did Death Stranding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not into Metal Gear, but I know this guy's got clout where it
It's
counts.
got clout. That is true. Yep.
And I know more specifically, people love his Twitter reviews
Yeah.
of
Okay.
things. And so I had been hearing about Gen V, and some of the people that we follow and we watch all the time, surprisingly lack of coverage. I feel
Yeah,
like I'm
I
very
agree.
shocked by that. So I didn't really know what to think, but then I loaded up Twitter, and I saw Hideo Kojima like raving about it. And I was like,
Yeah.
he's right. He was like, you might have heard that The Boys was doing this spin-off, and you might have been thinking, is this going to be Degrassi with blood? Is this going to be, 90210 with nudity? Is this, what is this going to be?
Yeah.
And he was like, it is awesome. It was just like
Nice.
this raving
Yeah.
review. And so I went home and I watched it
Wow.
immediately. And I will tell you, because of Amazon Prime's idiotic setup, it takes you to the landing page of the show. When you hit play on the landing page of the show, it plays the most recent episode.
Oh.
So I watched episode 3 first. I watched the entire...
So, just a quick story on that, how
Yeah.
I can relate. So, a few years ago, Danielle and I went through Twin Peaks,
Okay.
and we got to Twin Peaks The Return, so we had to do free trial Showtime, right? And they had them listed, but I don't think that... I forget how they're named or whatever, but they were listed last to first. So we watched the last episode of Twin Peaks The Return first.
I feel like I remember.
And
you
we were
telling us,
like, so after we were like, wait, what? Like, is that, how does it, where's it go from
Yeah.
there? And then we were like, oh, we watched the last episode.
Mhm.
And then, of course, getting to the last episode, it was kind of like, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can relate to that.
So yeah, let me see, it's gonna be here soon. Oh my god, this guy tweets so much.
Yeah, he does too. Did you read it in Japanese?
No, I did not. I did not, unfortunately. Man, this is all just 16 hours ago.
Yeah, he does a lot of tweeting.
Wow. Good luck.
It's more like fan stuff usually that he
Yeah,
like,
it's a lot
retweets.
of retweets.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I watched this, and I watched episode 3 first, which obviously is not the correct order. But I gotta say, I really loved it. Even when I watched it out of order, I really loved episode 3. I just thought that it was like kind of throwing you into yeah, there you go. I just kind of thought that it was throwing you into this story like kind of midstream. I thought it was like a thing that the show was doing.
Right.
It was not. It was very much not. Because I got to the end of episode 3 and it had like a typical, you know what The Boys always does great, and we've talked about this in many of our reviews. You can go. I think I even have a playlist up with all of our Boys stuff, but we have coverage of all 3 seasons. They always do that thing of where there's a amazing season-long story, but every episode has a beginning, middle, and an end. Mm-hmm. They every episode builds to a big thing, something is resolved, and then an oh shit moment. And this ended, and there was this huge, it was like, oh, okay, and then this holy shit moment happens, and then it's a big needle drop, and then developed by Eric Kripke, like a big, needle
Mm-hmm.
drop, oh my god moment. And I was like, wow, that was great. Let's watch the next episode. And then it started playing the trailer for episode 4. And I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense of why I didn't know what was going on with a lot of these people. But I think that speaks to how well that 3rd episode worked on its own. So then I went back and watched it. I'll say, for where The Boys season 1 started, it's as good a start as the 1st season of The Boys.
Oh, wow, okay.
Like, and I don't even mean that in, like, it's doing this stuff that The Boys do. I mean that, like, these characters, everything, everything that they do, all these people, I like all of them. I can name everyone in that picture already. And I think it's that 3 episode drop that really happened. Oh, this, I didn't even see about it. Yes, absolutely. I agree with everything that he's saying. Yeah, so he went back and talked about a different episode. It was that good. Yeah, it's fantastic. Like he says there, this one character, Emma, really, really great. Just, I love everything about it. It's so good. Like, it is just an absolute, like, hit the ground running start of a just incredible opening. Yeah, Clancy, and then there's people like Clancy Brown is in this, like, and then there are some cameos from people from The Boys.
There is, okay.
From Vought and the Seven and things like that. So there's some fun to be had and everything like that. But mainly it's just being in this world and then exploring it through these new characters, and I think it's done incredibly well, and I can't wait for next week.
I was gonna ask you if it is if it's like tying in any way, if you can tell.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say absolutely. I would say that this show is essential to, I mean, I don't know where The Boys season 4 is going.
Yeah.
But I would say it's as close to an essential spinoff as possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is that, you want to move on to the creator before we get going to Ahsoka?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Sean and I saw The Creator last Thursday, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
Not a packed house. Not really surprised, I guess, considering the numbers. I think it pretty much bombed this week, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Opening weekend. But yeah, what'd you think? What'd you think of The Creator?
I surprisingly liked it, and I said today to some people at work, I think I like it. The more I think about it, the more I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you and I talked in the parking lot a little bit after. I think that where it is great, it is like fantastic, and I think where it falters a little bit, it does fall a little flat. I think there are particular emotional elements to this movie that I felt didn't go far enough. Like, it didn't get me to that emotional catharsis, and they kind of save it all for this one big moment in the 3rd act, which I understand, and I think that worked, and I think we both said that was easily the most emotional moment of the movie. I just think that in a movie that's 2 hours and 13 minutes, you can have a little bit more emotional payoffs throughout the movie than that. And then I think the one big other one that could have been, I feel like kind of falls a little flat because of some story choices and how one character in particular is kind of portrayed throughout the movie. I feel like because you don't get as much time with that character, like being an actual presence in the film, when you're called upon to like really get emotionally invested in this thing, I feel like it falls a little flat. Everything like that aside, I think that the girl is fantastic too.
Oh, great.
Everything else aside, I think this movie is probably the 2nd or 3rd best looking movie of the year. I put it up there with John Wick Chapter 4 and Oppenheimer, with just like how incredibly like visual feast. I would still say maybe John Wick 4 is still maybe the best looking movie of the year, just because it's just like every frame of that movie is like a Renaissance painting, very intentionally. This is like every shot of this movie you would find in like a concept art book. You know what I mean? Like, obviously it's Gareth Edwards, Rogue One, Star Wars, everything like that. But this feels very like Ralph McQuarrie come to life, basically. It feels a lot like that for me, but I love the look of it. What about you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I told you, I think, where they pretty much lost me was, what was the beginning part? Where they I can't remember. I was like, they're pretty much the middle of the movie they lost me. Yeah. I think it was when maybe he was going back to get Alfie after he lost her the first time. And then that moment to like basically
it's like starting on like the boat.
When I went to the bathroom, that's what it was.
Yeah,
when I went to the bathroom, when I came back and I was like, well, how do you get her back? And you were like, well, they were just sleeping. Yeah. I was like, okay. So they lost me from that to basically the very end.
Yeah.
With that big kind of emotional moment.
Yeah.
Like you said, I thought everybody was great. I didn't really get Gemma Chan and John David Washington. I didn't really feel that emotional impact, like you said, towards the end, because we see her very little.
Yeah.
And it's basically, the rest of it is, him looking for her. And
you know what I was thinking, and what it reminded me of in movies is the first Dune is with him and what is it, Chani, Zendaya's character.
Yeah.
Like the fact that like you just see her in these like dreams visions that Paul is having. It's throughout the movie. She's in it more than you would remember, but like it's only like 3 or 4 minutes throughout the whole movie, and then at the end of the movie, obviously it's not like this much of an emotional thing, but like you're at the end of the first Dune, you're kind of expected to like be like, oh, these are the guys, and that was the only part of the movie that I was a little like, okay. I mean, like he's like, I don't know if I'm like, oh my god, these are star-crossed lovers after like that amount of screen time. Yeah. This is very much the same thing where it's like when you just kind of show someone, whether it be flashback or vision or dream sequence or something, it's hard to get as invested as if you actually
and there are
just
some of those
them.
like littered like a little bit throughout the movie, but I don't think they kind of like pull you in much as but visually it looks amazing. Like for the amount of money that the movie was made for, you would think it was made for way more. The explosions, the vehicles I thought looked awesome. That really big like tank thing. I thought there was some really cool concepts as well with the robots. I especially really liked the basically kamikaze robots that are just bombs and they're just like running.
Everyone I've talked to about this has said that those were like the standout for them. It's fantastic.
There's some like kind of, I guess, goofy moments too, to kind of lighthearted to like make it make it a little bit more, I guess, less. I don't know if it's like a depressing movie or anything, but just lighten it up a little bit. And they don't all work. Personally, for me, the whole kind of there's two moments in this movie where an animal will like kind of intentionally explode something, and I think you could do that once in a movie. I don't think it works twice. Personally, the second time I was like, oh, okay, I thought the dog was way cuter than what the monkey did, but I did like I said, I enjoyed the robots. I enjoyed the whole design of the world. I enjoyed what was the big spaceship called again?
Nomad.
That was really cool. I thought that
was like one of the most original. Maybe not original. I mean,
I was gonna say, I don't know, but that's like the Death Star.
We've seen stuff like that. But honestly, it is more like the Death Star on a planetary scale rather than like a galactic scale. You know what I mean? Because it's like the Death Star can move throughout the galaxy. This can just move throughout the entire Earth. Anywhere on Earth, it seems that it can move like lightning fast. And that's like terrifying. And there are some shots of Nomad in this movie that are genuinely terrifying. Like the way it's lit, or even just like the functionality of it and the sound design of like the.
I thought that was really cool.
Like it's that typical kind of like eerie like sci-fi noise, but like it just works really, really well with that. And again, like you said, some of the vehicles, some of the tanks, and then the fact that like this movie just works so well on like a. Allegory, commentary level.
What did you think of the whole, like, humanity, like...
I thought that was, like... I mean, I thought it was good. Have you ever seen the Animatrix?
No.
Okay, I gotta remember to clip this out. I've been asking everybody at work this whole week. I'm like, have you seen the Animatrix? Because this is so in the Animatrix, it's basically these short vignettes. They're all like 8 to 12 minutes. It's kind of like Star Wars Visions almost. That's very similar to Star Wars Visions, where one of the ones that you see, or I think it's maybe 3 of them. I think it's like at the beginning, one in the middle, and then the last one is like kind of carrying through this arc of just basically how the AI war started in the Matrix world to begin with. And it's this. It's literally, I'm not saying that like they lifted the concept or something. It's a very like sci-fi concept, but it's like AI and robots become part of the workforce. And then I think even in the Animatrix, I think it's like in this movie, well, I guess I won't get into what they did or what the spoiler is, but in the Animatrix, it's like the thing that incites the like AI are bad was like a accident. Right. It kind of a similar thing where it's like we at the beginning, it was the AI just wanted to live in peace. We were like, they were fine doing that, and it's like if one thing did it, and I do think the creator, again, more than it's just like huge visuals, and I think you see this in the trailer. Like there's a shot of what I assume is the president giving a speech in this movie, and
like the very beginning.
Yeah, at the very beginning, like a minute into the movie, and like just the fact that like he's wearing a suit, but his suit is a green suit with all these military medals pinned onto it, almost like just showing you that like the America during this movie is like a super militaristic it was just like really setting up this eerie vibe that I think carried throughout the whole movie. I think was really, really good.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna say I was feeling bad for the AI or anything like that, but when you put like a face to something that obviously doesn't have a face, it's easy to become sort of I guess connected in a way. Like you get with Alfie, where it's like, okay, well, Alfie's not a real person, but she has a face.
There is that one scene in this, though.
Well, I guess she kind of is, though, because she's. That gets in the spoilers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I guess she kind of is, but it's the whole kind of consciousness thing that you're kind of battling with. And there was something that I forget.
There's like 5 levels of being in this movie.
Yeah.
But there's that one where this is not a huge spoiler. In the very beginning of the movie, he's working as like kind of like a scrapper, almost, and he pulls a robot. Robot-looking robot out of a car. Are you saying that is a good thing or a bad thing?
That was like, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I just felt like bad.
He pulls this robot out of the car, and it's like dead. It's like not petrified, but it's like it's like it's out. And then he reconnects a power harness, I guess, to maybe get information or to boot up something, to like disconnect something to scrap it or whatever.
I thought it was just. I think it might have just been asleep, because then he
just woke it up. Yeah. But it just starts screaming and writhing in like agony and screaming for some woman named Sarah or something.
Like either its daughter or its wife or something.
Yeah, it just is like screaming, like in a very like fucked up like human way, like it's just screaming for its life. And he's just like, no, don't worry, they're not real.
Yeah, they're not real.
And like the girl that's with him is like you just killed someone, like that's a real and like.
Right. But then you also
I thought that was super effective.
You don't see it. I feel like you see it. I guess they kind of introduce it later, like maybe 3/4 of the way through the movie, when Allison Janney's character kind of transfers like the what's the word I'm looking for?
Like consciousness.
The consciousness to like a new like a. It's like if they're dead for a little bit or something, you might have time to like salvage somebody's consciousness and put it into like a new machine.
It's like enough time to ask like 1 or 2 questions.
Right.
Yeah.
And the idea of like somebody like kind of playing God with that is like all little.
And just how casually she is about. Also, by the way, we just said her name, but I thought Allison Janney was incredible in this movie. Yeah. I mean, is she like, at the end of the day, kind of a stereotypical like military villain? Yes, absolutely. But I think Allison Janney
like pulled her straight out of Avatar.
Yes, absolutely. She was doing her best Miles Quaritch in this
Yeah.
for sure. And I would love to see her in Avatar, but she really played. She was a stereotypical military badass, like whatever.
Mhm.
But the fact that it was Allison Janney is like, I
Mhm.
mean, like look at the picture, like the star of ABC's mom or CBS's mom.
Yeah.
I thought she was just fantastic, and at one point she has this great monologue where she's talking about like how this war has affected her personally and stuff, and the camera is like right in on her face, and it's just like some of the best acting I think that she's ever done. And she's like the eighth, like fourth or fifth most important person in this movie.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I really liked it. The more I think about it, I think the more that I like it. I don't know if I'm gonna get to see it again just because there's so many movies that I still haven't even seen. But also I think it's filled out well with a good ensemble cast.
Yeah.
Would
you just real quick? What'd you think of the Drew character?
I was liked more.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, he's here now. Like we meet him at the shop or whatever, wherever they're at. And then then it just kind of, I don't know. I was kind of like when his
what happens over.
Yeah. I'm just kind of like, okay. Like,
yeah, and I think if you had okay, if I can we'll spend like another minute on this, but
yeah.
I think what I keep saying is it's in the trailer, but the whole sequence with the team infiltrating the place to find the big door, and it's just kind of like straight out of Aliens.
Yeah.
And it's just like the team with their big guns, and they're just like, he's like, I'm just the science officer, like don't shoot me. I thought that like that was like 35 minutes that you could just take right out of the movie. And I think if you replace that with more Gemma Chan, and if you replace that with more like Drew, maybe like another flashback with Drew or something to really build that up, I just think you would have had a much more solid thing. But then again, you'd be giving up like 25 minutes of action, which for a movie like this you got to have. But I just thought there's some places that you could just tighten up a little bit to really get to where the story starts, which is really when he and Alfie meet, which happens, I think, a little later on in the movie than it probably should. I think that's my last piece on it. That. Yeah. Anything else on the creator?
No, I think that's it. It's definitely visually.
I would absolutely recommend.
Yeah, I would definitely go see it. In a
biggest
theater,
screen possible. It's not like an IMAX biggest screen. It's not like a, it's not going to fill the frame of an IMAX theater, but by nature, IMAX is going to be the biggest screen you can see it on. So, if you want to, go see it on IMAX. But I really liked all that. Oh, and then really quickly, I did check out all 4 of Wes Anderson's shorts on Netflix. The Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar, I believe, Poison, and 2 others that I cannot remember the Wes Anderson-y Roald Dahl name of. All fantastic. It's basically Richard Iowati, Dev Patel, Ray Fiennes, Ben Kingsley, and Rupert Friend. It's basically just Benedict Cumberbatch. It's basically just those 6 guys in all 4 shorts playing multiple roles, playing roles on top of themselves. It's very Wes Anderson-y, but it also feels very like stage production-y, and that's kind of why they're playing multiple roles. Like it's almost like it's just these 6 guys putting all of these plays on for us, the viewer, or something. But this might just be crazy to say. I think it's some of his best work that he's ever done. Like I loved it, especially this one. This is the one that everyone's talking about. This one's the 40-minute one. The other 2 are about 17, and 12, I think. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, I think, is fantastic. I think it's some of the most Wes Anderson-y stuff you can get, and I just think he knocked it out of the park, and they're incredible. And you watch them all together, it's like an hour-and-a-half movie. So I think they are fantastic. Yeah, it's literally just them.
Yeah.
Like, it's just them and then some character actors that just kind of fill in the background. But they are all so good. Yeah. Thought they were great. And they're on Netflix, all 4 of them right now.
Nice.
All right.
I think that's it. That's all we've really, or at least that's all I've watched. I'm pretty sure that's all we wanted to talk about right before Ahsoka.
Absolutely.
All
We
right.
got 7 people watching us right now. I know it's hard. Jump in the chat. Let us know anything you want to talk about Ahsoka. We will read it out. Anything you want to say, just type those little fingers. What are we doing? We're pivoting fully into Ahsoka territory here right now. For those who don't know, we have done, out of the 8, I think we have done 5 live watch-alongs, I believe. I think we missed 2 episodes, various vacations and health emergencies. But so we have a lot of coverage up for Ahsoka right now. We're going to have a lot of coverage up for Loki. We are working on what exactly we're going to do, but we are definitely going to bring you guys still the show and potentially a Loki review every weekend, just because Loki comes out on Thursday nights, and it's not as easy for us to do the show on Thursday nights as it is on Tuesday nights. Because for those who don't know, Thursday nights is when movies come out. Catching back up here. So let us know whatever you want to talk about Ahsoka. Put it in the chat right now and we will read it out. What are we doing? What's going on here? We got the loose threads. I feel like last time we left very positive because we always do these in a vacuum.
Yep.
Where we end the episode, we close everything down, and then we just talk about what our thoughts are, and then I go home and I see that Twitter is a black hole of hatred. Yeah. But honestly, I feel like that was only for the last episode. I feel like for some reason, we specifically talked about, do we think it's going to stick the landing? I said, I'm very confident in it. I go home and the whole internet's like, they can't possibly wrap this up in an hour. And I'm like, I think they probably can. I think you just have to answer where's Shin at emotionally, what's Balin's deal, and then Thrawn has to make it. I don't even think your heroes have to make it home. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see Ezra and Hera reunite. I put him in the thumbnail for a reason. Are we going to see Zeb? Do you think we're going to see Zeb? They made the model. I mean,
maybe.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I feel like if you were going to introduce him, maybe introduce him like an episode or 2 ago.
I feel like, though, I don't even know if it would be... Like, what I'm picturing, I think the only way that you could, like, introduce Zeb with it being still a slight service to the character and then kind of everybody's back together.
Right.
I think maybe with Carson and all this stuff, maybe you end the show... Everybody's back home, and we're all meeting up at the Adelphi Rangers base from Mando, and he's just there, and it's like so kid, you made it home after all, like one of those. I just would love a Ghost Crew big family hug. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Are we gonna find out what's in the? Are we gonna find out what's in the caskets?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, when I say those 3 things are the only things you have to answer. Obviously, within each of those, there's way more stuff that I would want to be answered that I hope they don't just leave dangling. For those who have not joined us before for live reactions, please let us know if you can hear the show. Just because we listen to it out of the TV here that we have, and we haven't had problems in previous weeks, but we just make sure, because then if you can hear it, Disney can hear it, which is not good. Michelle says Dave the Flash Filoni has brought his animation fully alive in this. I look at these live action and I see everyone and everything we got in Clone Wars and Rebels. I need more. Absolutely. There you
49 minutes.
And what's it called? Last thing I wanted to say before we started. Today is a historic day in Star Wars and for Dave Filoni, because today is what would it be? The 15th anniversary of the premiere of Star Wars The Clone Wars on Cartoon Network, and it is the 9th anniversary of the premiere of Star Wars Rebels on Disney XD, and it's the finale of Ahsoka. So a lot of Dave Filoni. Maybe this is his marriage anniversary too. I don't know.
All right, we're gonna hit the timer.
Man,
all right, are you good?
I'm just excited.
All right.
I'm just really excited.
All right, so we're going to hit the timer right now, and then we're going to press play now.
And like every week, no skipping the preview, no skipping the intros or anything like that. Oh, my God.
Whoops, did not mean to do that.
Oh, and while this recap is playing, me and my roommate have decided she's never seen it. I will be rewatching Squid Game.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I have not seen that since it came out, like 2 years. I would love a clean shaven, long.
Imagine this whole thing and we still don't go off this planet. Can you imagine?
See, I think not everyone is going to, but I think Thrawn is definitely Thrawn's making it back home.
Yeah, no matter
and
what.
murdering thousands before before this 45 minutes is up.
Oof, this was tough. Don't show me that again. You don't think he's gonna die?
I don't know. I mean, they love killing droids in this universe.
For a long haul.
I'm just so happy. You know what I would call this show otherwise? Breaking the seal. Like, I feel like there's so much Star Wars stuff that they were like, we're putting it in live action finally. I love this.
Is that longer than usual?
Maybe
it felt really long.
Was Vader in there?
I don't remember now. Boom.
Man, I love the look of the Chimera. I love how banged up it is. All of its main engines are out.
Ooh. What's that violin? I think that's a violin. What's in the cargo?
Can we hit it up a couple?
Yeah.
This guy talks so softly. Yes.
See what I mean with his pants?
I see what you mean. I knew it was never an issue of me not seeing what you meant. Leave her ass behind. Yeah, you did.
Never again.
Man. Is that makeup or is that what? How do they do that to his skin?
I don't think that's makeup.
Ooh. Oh, I would love it if they just incinerate her right now.
My God, can you imagine?
Oh, imagine if they like transform her into like a Dathomirian. I want to see some magic, not red floaty balls. I want to see some green smoke and magic. Is he just standing there? Man, I love this shit.
Jeez.
I don't like this. Maybe they are gonna like transform her.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What the hell are we doing?
What the fuck? This is really some Fallen Order shit.
Scary.
Ugh. Is she the first ever human Night Sister? Oh, yeah. Come on.
There's your magic.
What are they making, a weapon? Don't tell me it's another spear. What the hell?
It's a pretty cool blade.
Oh, Mother Talzin.
You lost me on that one. I got nothing.
She's Darth Maul's mom.
Oh, okay.
She was the like high priestess, main one from the Clone Wars,
okay.
the one that Grievous killed. Is this a lightsaber?
Been
Oh, damn! Good luck to Din Djarin taking that one. I always forget that Din's spear came from Morgan. I always forget that.
Ooh, I love that alarm.
Oh yeah, the klaxon.
Oh yeah. I always go back to the Rogue One trailer.
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me?
With Forrest Whitaker's monologue in the background.
Save the dream! Save the rebellion! The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. Warlord? Warlord. Oh, for a second I thought it was battle droids. Oh, we're rolling deep. That's hilarious.
I feel like that ship is not capable of going that slow.
No. Not with them directly under it.
Right.
Where are any thrusters at all? Oh, yes.
There you go. Oh, so are we not doing...
Oh, yes. He's building the lightsaber.
Well, so much for Force only.
You know what's insane is this is the first time we've ever seen someone build a lightsaber in live action.
Wow.
He said, "Oh yeah, I've already done it twice." This is this guy's third lightsaber. I just want...
Big time name drop. I would say...
Yeah.
Bro, this dude's like a gazillion years old.
I just want to say, I mean, technically when Hu Yang knew him, his name was still Caleb.
But, there he said it. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
So much for my
Oh, look.
Force only user theory last week.
It's the same emitter as Kanan's.
Oh. Whoa.
He said Kanan took the other one.
Please be like a really skinny blade.
I know. What color? Keep the
know.
green, I feel like. Ezra is, to me, is so associated with green.
Nope.
Fuck
Right
it. Great.
Blue. Perfect.
Go for it. Why not?
Oh.
Whoop. This is like Lando's cape closet. The long story. Oh, gee. I'm loving all this.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feel like could have put some of this in the last episode. I could watch 100 episodes of this show.
Hey, she's giving her some props, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Imagine one of them just trips and falls. He did try to kill you a couple times.
Hey, her ass was framed for murder.
That is true. Yes. Cal Kestis. Oh man, I love his new lightsaber.
Uh-oh.
Damn, they can't catch a goddamn break. Oh, man, the TIE pilot with the gold. That's a cool look. Get back in your goddamn shells, man. Oh hell yeah. She just bumped right into him. Oh shit. Get in your goddamn hut, man. Close the door.
Those things are so funny.
You said it. I guess shouldn't have been hovering that low.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, I thought they were gonna Razor Crest it for a second. And I remembered Sabine and Huyang were still on there. Oh, love the Star Wars sound.
Skirt.
Literally.
Bro.
Oh my gosh. It's not even your ship. That's her house. Oh.
Oh.
She's like, that's my goddamn house. They got out quick.
Unscathed. Oh.
This guy's like, what the fuck? Well, I guess it just got a little easier of how we're gonna get back home.
How far are we?
I do feel like so far a lot of this could have been the last episode.
And I hope we see Balin soon.
I was gonna say, yeah. Again, like, I'm not harping. Like, all this stuff is great. I just really feel like we could have, like... And, like, we're leaving Huyang?
He's gotta fix the ship. I don't know.
I guess so. Man, I love that.
I guess we still don't know if these are, like, zombies.
Yeah, I guess not.
Oh. So maybe they're people?
Maybe.
How the fuck are they alive?
Oh, shit.
Wow, okay. I felt like we were a little farther than that, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know. What do I know? Get it? He's electrocuting himself. Funny. Classic Ewok.
Babu Frick.
Yeah, or Babu Frick, yep.
Okay. Alright, Ahsoka. I like... There's something in my brain that I can't say the name Ahsoka without thinking, Ahsoka, do you know what I've become? Oh, shit. Damn.
Damn.
That part. This is crazy.
Turbo lasers.
Oh,
Oh my
shit.
god.
He was not joking. Maybe the back door would have been a better idea. No, don't jump off the mount. Whatever you do. What? It's like a Star Tours ride. Oh, what the hell?
Uh-oh. He's getting frustrated.
Man. This guy in all of canon has gotten angry like 3 times. I think we're about to see a 4th. His mouth was twitching. Oh, no coat, no cloak. Just somebody hit him with the. Could you imagine that? Somebody just did a Jedi Survivor, like, full on.
Yeah.
Ground pound. Look at this guy go. What a lunatic. This is awesome.
I do feel as though some of the choreography is a tad
slow,
stiff. Yeah.
I can get that. Again, I just think it's like you're trying. That was pretty cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
You're trying to just do so much on a TV show. Like, the fact that this is just a TV show is crazy.
The hell are we doing?
I don't even know.
Bringing somebody back from the dead?
Oh!
All the caskets open. Oh, here we go.
Oh, come on.
Now they're zombies.
This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. Oh!
So I guess they were people?
I guess they were people, and now they're bringing them back.
Yeah.
They said Valor Morgulis.
So, how do you kill a zombie? Ew. Oh, okay.
I guess you just shoot him again.
No, maybe not.
Oh, maybe not. Okay, I guess you run then. Probably run, I would say. Only one of you has head-to-toe armor, so you should probably run. I like that Sabine is just a Mandalorian and a Jedi.
Oh, jeez.
Grogu could never. Classic Star Wars spiral staircase.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I do not like that. Yeah, you gotta start closing some doors on them.
Oh. Oh, no. There we go.
You almost sliced right through him.
I think you're gonna start having to cut some heads off.
Yeah.
Oh. It's not like an avalanche coming towards them.
Oh my so god. Cool.
Gonna put this freaking thing into a
I can't believe that like
it's a hyperspace ring.
It's bringing together like every facet of Star Wars and also Attack of the Clones.
Oh. I think she's done. Yep.
Like she's gonna go face them herself?
Yeah.
Oh my god, did you see the Night Death Troopers?
No.
Oh my god, I just like caught them right at the end of that shot.
Oh no, yeah. They look like
I didn't see the Death Troopers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Dudes.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
You ain't even from there. She doesn't even go here. Happy Mean Girls Day, by the way, to anyone who celebrates.
Yeah. Oh.
Dude,
my god.
Cut the other door. Just keep slashing the doors. You can't wait for them to advance.
Is there any more? Oh, there's stairs. Oh, there you go. See, he's way ahead.
Yeah. Are we ever going to see Balin and Shin?
I don't know. I'm a little nervous. Oh, here we go.
What if they just walked right past her and went up the stairs?
Oh. I literally think that's what they were doing.
Oh, wow, that's hilarious.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they got a rematch, you know? Mm-hmm. This is old Mandalorian Season 2 beef. That shit was like 3 years ago. Mando Season 2 was really 3 years ago?
That's crazy.
Jesus.
Oh.
Holy shit. Take her head off.
Oh, you got
Oh,
these.
come on.
Yeah,
come on. What are you talking about? A Death Trooper couldn't even take on a regular Mandalorian. Man, that is so cool with the Death Trooper armor, though.
Oh.
He smiled at him. Oh. There's the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Go. Oh shit! Get on the boat.
Get on the boat. Oh.
Oh my god!
That was kind of cool. Keep doing that. Oh, that's like a
Oh, it's trying to eat her.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's creepy.
What the hell? You leave Moses alone.
Oh.
Just knock him off the edge, man. Force push him.
That's what I was just thinking.
This is easy. This is not even going to take your full
Oh my
force.
god.
Oh.
Come on. It's not moving.
Oh.
Oh. Love that.
Can't wait. I can't believe they gave her the force.
Oh, there we go. Finally, a head got chopped off.
You gotta have that Qui-Gon Jinn jump in you if you're gonna still make that.
Yeah. Oh. I don't think he's making that.
What do you mean too late?
He ain't making that jump.
No, I just mean like
Oh.
they gotta make it out. Like, what do you mean?
We'll see.
Damn, she's really letting them do all the work. What is that ship? What is that ship right there?
Oh my god. They're gonna do it.
Oh my god. You just used it. Okay. Now, better
That
like
seems
this
a little too.
sooner rather than later.
That was funny.
That was like classic Ezra.
Yeah. Oh.
Classic Bridger, as they say. Both of y'all, let's go. Oh no, they're gonna leave Ahsoka behind, aren't they? I think I just realized that just now. I think Ahsoka's not making it home.
It's gonna be trying to think. It reminds me of something I can't remember.
Oh shit, what the hell? Yeah, she cut her lightsaber in half. She goes through lightsabers
This has
faster
shades
than
of
Anakin.
the crew getting on the ship as Kanan holds off the fiery explosion.
Yeah.
Not that I think Sophie's gonna die, but
I can't believe that she cut the lightsaber in half.
Oh.
Oh, they are gone.
They're gone.
Yeah, they are gone.
No, right there. Ouch. Oh.
She didn't go.
Did Ezra get off the ship?
The question is... Oh, wouldn't that be wild if Ezra makes it back but nobody else does? Like a trade, one for one. Or, not one for one, because Thrawn's making it back too.
Yeah.
Much worse than 1 for 1. 2 for 2. The question is, does Hu Yang fix the ship in the next 10 minutes or in the next season?
Oh.
Ooh!
Nice.
She got her with her lightsaber and her blade.
Yeah, that was
her
sick.
own blade. I can't believe she broke her.
Oh.
I can't believe she did her lightsaber.
Said I felt that one. Oh.
Get the helmet. Oh, I was gonna say I haven't put the helmet on. Oh my god, is he gonna put it on?
I guess.
That's like classic. That's classic Ezra.
Oh, it got fixed.
Did it though? Don't forget that. This guy's bugging out, man. He's like it's all right in my hands. Oh shit. This is awesome.
This classic ship's gonna rise up, yep.
Damn. Oh. Kylo Ren style knockback from the engines? No? Okay, just crumble to death.
Yeah.
Now the question is, how is that ship gonna make it back? They can't just like dock with the hyperspace ring.
Yeah. It's 9:34. There's not another ship lying around, is there?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any whales either. I mean, like, obviously they could just, like, latch onto the bottom of it, but, like, wouldn't you think that they would know?
Yeah.
Oh. They're hailing us. Sorry. Too much Star Trek on the brain.
Damn.
Oh, this bitch. Like, she said.
Wow. Whoa.
That is such a cool effect.
Yeah.
That ring. Wow. That actually did look a lot like Star Trek. Yeah, you're stuck, actually. Where's Balin and shit?
That's why I said
Everybody,
it's 9:34.
Everybody's like, shout out to this episode because it's the last time Ray Stevenson's gonna play Balin.
Oh, no, that's them. Shit.
Everybody's like, this episode's gonna be the last time he plays Balin. I think it was last week.
So, I hate to be that guy. Right now, we're almost in the same. We're almost where we were when we started. Just flipped.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy. Oh no, it's the What arc was that in the 7th season?
What?
The
Oh. The Martez.
the Martez sisters arc over again. Oh, no.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I thought it was gonna be Balin.
I swear, if she follows Morai, no, it's gonna be them. Oh no, it is Shin.
Thank God. Oh my Lord.
If she follows Morai, who's this now? Anyways, if she follows Morai, and there's like a world between worlds place.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna like rule them. She's gonna have her own little. Oh. This guy's got a new cape.
Whoa.
What the Ministerial is this? Man, this is the last shot we're ever gonna get of this guy.
That's kind of.
Oh shit!
Oh!
Whoa!
The girl was. What happened to the girl?
The girl is Ahsoka now.
Oh.
Remember?
Okay, yeah.
So Sam Witwer was in the show after all. So he's going after Mortis. And this guy's back at Dathomir? Wait, I was like, check the year. Maul's dead. Okay. Yeah, this is not a good victory.
What's in the crosscuts?
I think they're Night Sisters, dude.
This is like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That ship was on Thrawn's ship. Oh,
This
it's
one?
Ezra.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Come on, man. If they're gonna hug, I'm gonna cry.
I want to make sure helmets. Oh, maybe not.
Chopper's gonna lose it. What's the matter, buddy? You don't recognize me? He knew it. He knows it's him. I'm home. Oh.
No, you're good. You're close.
They got a hug. What's going on here? What the fuck? I mean, there's still like 3 minutes. Which isn't a lot, but
Post credit?
man, so they were really going hard in the paint for a season 2 on this, huh?
I guess so.
I mean, not that it's not going to happen. Obviously, it's just
Right.
It's just Balin is gonna.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to do something. But man, if season 2 of Ahsoka we're going to Mortis and shit, sign me up. Hera just called me. She's on her way.
Yeah.
No. And so are we. Yeah, there you go. Dave, you little guy.
What does that mean?
What the fuck does that mean?
That was funny.
I swear if Anakin appears in the sky, remember. Remember who you are. James Earl Jones. Darth Vader.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh.
Oh, come on,
God.
man. Man, they really made this whole show a love letter to that guy. No post credit.
I don't think so. Let me double check. Nope. Dang.
Well, I hit the timer.
Yeah, I'll hit the timer. Hopefully when I start recording this, we don't get all wacky like we did last week. Somehow we didn't even notice.
Oh yeah.
All right.
We'll keep this up.
Start recording now. We're good now. We seem okay, I think. It was like right when I hit record too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're done with the episode. Finale done. Episode 8. So, your thoughts. What'd you think?
I gotta say, okay. I think my mind shifted about halfway through because I realized at a certain point they're doing a season 2. Like that's it, plain and simple. So because of that, I think a lot of my perspective on it changed. I really liked it. I think because it's like, well, we got to wrap up what's going on with Balin. We got to wrap up what's going on with Shin. I don't think we have to. I think that this is, not only would we get a season 2, but I think that this is like a high priority thing. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be like, although I could be totally wrong, but like, you know, I don't think it's going to be like a Loki where we have to wait almost 3 years between seasons. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be much more like a Mando, where it's like, this was thought of, you know, honestly, Dave Filoni, you know, he's a writer, but, you know, in his role as an executive and as a producer, you know, he can still do a ton of work on this throughout the strike and stuff. I really think, obviously, the biggest headache he's going to have, you know, unfortunately, is what do you do with Balin? At this point, I think people already thought, just to honor Ray Stevenson's performance as this character, I think so many people were already on board with a recast. Just like, because you want to see where it goes so that, you know, his work isn't, you know, kind of wasted, you know. So I think a recast is definitely going to happen, and I think when it does, I'm psyched to see where this goes. I wanted to see a hug with Hera and Ezra. That was a weird moment. I think that was a weird moment to cut. Not even like
I don't know
like
what
a
you
tear.
do with like a chopper.
Like I thought
either,
that she would like run up to him or
But
something.
but that when Sabine and Ezra saw each other again, you didn't get.
Yeah,
that either.
I think again that's a broader thing about this series. I think some of the emotional beats could have hit a little harder. Like I said about the creator, like I think some of the emotional beats really could have hit a lot harder than they did. That being said, I think the emotional beats were still there. They were still there. I think overall, I'm still like, if you take animation out of it, which a lot of people seem to do, if you're just talking live action series, I think this is easily number 2. Easily. Mm-hmm. I think that this is better than any single season of Mando.
Yeah.
And it's obviously,
I don't know,
Season 2 of Mando is like really good, but I still think this blows it out of the water just because I care more.
Right.
These are my characters, you know, that I am like some of them grew up with in the case of Ahsoka.
Yeah.
But then more than that, I do think that like there's just a lot more attention to story and kind of where they're going in a general direction. You know, where Mando, I just, you know, by the end of season 3, the more I think about Mando, the more I'm kind of like over it. Honestly, the more I think about it and talk about it like with my friends and stuff, the more I kind of sour on season 3, especially, but kind of the whole show. I'm just kind of like, eh. But that being said, season 1 and 2 of Mando are still excellent television. But I think this is easily better, and I think it's, you know, I think from a technical, from a filmmaking standpoint, from a story, from a dialogue, I think Andor is much better.
Oh yeah.
But in terms of being a show set in the Star Wars universe about the Star Wars story, I think this is, it can't be beat. I mean, I think everything in it has been fantastic. I think it's been varying degrees. There's been some divots, you know, some small dips, I think. But I think you're talking small dips. I mean, this is, I think, another thing that I've seen a lot of people say that I agree with is, you know, the other shows. First of all, when was the last time you rewatched any of the other 3 shows?
No, never.
Exactly. And second of all, this show has the thing where I'll go check out the Mando season 1 finale because it's so good. I'll go check out I'm rewatching Book of Boba Fett. I love the train episode. The next one is but then the Mando episode. This one is, every episode is an essential banger. Honestly, like every episode is essential. There's no, and rises to the level of quality that you would want to watch it again. I've been saying every week, I have not rewatched in full a single one of these episodes yet. And I loved that I did that. I've only seen them while either watching it with you or at home the one time. Obviously, I've gone back. Everybody's, I think, watched the Clone Wars scenes a couple of times, whether it's on even TikTok or what. But I love this show. And then in terms of the finale, I think we can get a little bit deeper, you know, overall after we get your thoughts. But in terms of season 1 of Star Wars Ahsoka, I think Dave Filoni absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I feel on the episode about pretty much the same as, maybe a little less than you.
Yeah.
I agree with you on the first maybe 10 minutes or so. We could have just extended the last episode maybe another 10 minutes and just fit that all in there. I'm with you on the emotional beats where it's just been a tad clunky. I don't know. It just, you get to those kind of big moments where, you know, these characters are reuniting and you're expecting this kind of, you know, big thing, and it just doesn't. Kind
of pulls back.
It does. Yeah. It does. And
again, I think easy fixes.
Yeah.
And I think when you go, you know, whenever we end up in a movie, I think, you know, when you go cinematic, you're going to have big cinematic emotional moments like that, especially with a Star Wars movie. But again, I think it's like those little things of emotion, things like Thrawn's look, it's 96% of the way there. I think if you tweak him a little bit, fix his kind of whacked out wig on the side, you know, I think he's perfectly fine. I think that anything that I have wrong is easy.
Yeah, as far as Balin and Shin Hati goes, for me, like, I know Michelle said, like, you could maybe just leave the Balin thing, how they left it, and she said it was kind of regal, or have a Dumbledore style recast, which will give the fans a while to guess who can live up to him. I think you could do that, but also at the same time, I feel like that just leaves so many questions unanswered, I guess, for the both of them. That whole thing, we were like, what is he going at, and obviously, we see at the end he's going for Mortis and stuff like that, but like,
I never expected that was what it was going to be. I don't think anybody did.
But like, what is that, like, I feel like that just leaves so much, like, what happens? And Shin Hatsi, I feel like, is even more, not that I want to know more about her because I care more about Balin, but like that, I see that, I'm like, to me, it's like, that's not, you can't end it like that because they haven't built it up to enough where I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, even her, like, kind of going to, like, that tribe, I don't even know what they are, what that tribe is.
They just said they're, no pun intended, they said they're just nomads.
Right, and I guess it kind of speaks to the whole kind of, like, she is
searching belonging,
right, and or kind of like even, kind of like Gamora Guardians 3,
that's a really good
something
example.
like that. But Gamora, we've had multiple movies with where it's like, okay, I understand like where they went with that. Whereas this, I'm like, I've only seen her for 7 episodes, and I don't feel as though like that is the right place to leave her character because I feel like for both of them, there's so much more to get out of them from what they were building up. Where it was like, we're these, we're not on either side. We're kind of in the middle, and we're trying to figure it out as we go. And especially obviously with Balin with his kind of grander, looking ahead. So I'd be really upset if they don't do anything with either of them. I think that'd be like completely wasted. But I also think, how do you do that? Like, how do you go from all these, assuming they're all going to have their own kind of ways, they're not going to cross paths. How do you do that in a season 2?
I think they would still cross paths. I mean, like, Shin is still around where Ahsoka and them are. And assumedly Balin is too.
Well, I'm assuming Balin would somehow. Well, I guess Like, how do they get off the planet? I don't know.
Like, again, I guess maybe I shouldn't have it. Maybe I shouldn't be as trusting or whatever. But I do think that they'll execute a season 2 good.
Yeah.
And I think because of that faith, I think I'm letting go of a lot of the same stuff that was bothering me during the episode. I think I'm allowing myself to let go of that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be annoying that we have to wait so long? Yes, it's not like animation where, like, when season 1 comes out, they're already working on season 3, if you're the Bad Batch. But, also it's like kind of the same way I feel about Obi-Wan, kind of the same way I feel about Andor, the Bad Batch. Mando is like, and then now we got Skeleton Crew and Acolyte coming down. We're gonna stay satiated on Star Wars, throughout the year. So whenever they want to give us Ahsoka season 2, I think they'll be able to handle it. And I think it's you're how did they do it in this? You're dealing with the Ahsoka Sabine storyline, and then you're dealing with the New Republic Hera storyline. It's just now. I think maybe if anything in season 2, it might be a little more together. Now I'll tell you what I would really love. What I would really love is to split the shows in 2. No way would they do that.
Yeah, that's what I was just
But thinking. I would love for them to split the shows in 2. Do all of Ahsoka season 2 is just Balin, Shin, Ahsoka, and Sabine.
Yeah.
That's it, and Huyang. That's it. Very glad that Huyang didn't die. And then give us a whole nother show. You could call it something like
what they do.
You could call it something like Rangers of the New Republic, even. And I think you focus on Hera, because who says a show called whatever of the New Republic? Who says a show about the New Republic can't include a Jedi? Who's what? A show called Star Wars Rebels had 2 main characters that were Jedi. I think it's totally fine to have, and then that frees you up to do that. I think that frees you up to bring Mon Mothma further along into the timeline, deal with Thrawn's fallout, kind of separate out those 2 conflicts. Again, I don't really think they need to do that. I think if you did everything the same, and you did 8 45-minute episodes, I think that you could do everything and get it to a satisfying point. Now, it's a question of, are they really going to go for all that in live action, like Mortis, and like the other question is not just the practicality of like what does it mean for the story, it's the practicality of like, let's see how the audience responds to Night Sisters before we throw them the Mortis gods. You know what I mean? And it's like Morai, the owl, we didn't see her the entire season until that very last scene. And I thought you pointed out perfectly that you were like, where's the daughter? And then I was like, she's dead. Ahsoka is the daughter. She has been since that episode of the Clone Wars.
It's been a while.
But I love... No, yeah. That's like, how would you been so much? But for me, I can kind of understand and accept, and I think there are going to be tons of people out there that are going to be like, I don't like where they left off Balin, and I don't even understand it. You didn't...
I think that's fair.
Yeah, you didn't fully like where they left him off or how they left it off. I didn't either, really, but I think I have faith that they'll pick it up. But also, you and I know what Mortis is. There's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to be like, he was standing on a cliff.
With a guy that looks like a wizard.
Yeah, with a guy that looked like Dumbledore behind him. Like, what is this? Or there's going to be people who didn't, some people are those people that, like, they're going to be like, didn't even see the faces.
Right.
They're just going to be like, he was just standing on some mountain. Like, what is that? And it's like, that's when, you hopefully you go back and you can look and you can, do your homework and stuff on it. But there's a lot of people out there that say, I shouldn't have to watch anything else to understand this show. And by and large, I don't think that you do have to watch anything else to understand this show, but I think you will understand it a lot deeper and appreciate it a lot more if you do go back and watch stuff like that. But I think it'll be interesting to see where people lie, because I think there's all this stuff about how did you feel about the episode, how did you feel about the season, and then there's is the audience going to continue going with this show on this journey where we're kind of getting more and more into like the weirdest parts of Star Wars, I guess.
So speaking of Night Sisters, as we see, they're kind of like, and again, I know, what we've said before is Filoni's working his way and his magic and trying to make sure the sequel movies make sense in where they ended up. Do we think the Night Sisters play a part in the whole Palpatine coming back thing?
I don't know, but I mean, I think they definitely could.
Yeah, I feel like that's maybe where we're going. We're putting a big emphasis on them in this season, I feel like, or at least these past few episodes.
I mean, it's definitely interesting because I really thought that it was going to be like Thrawn, comes back to the galaxy and it still could be. But I thought it was going to be more kind of like Thrawn comes back to the galaxy, drops the Night Sisters off at Dathomir. Yeah. And is like, all right, thank you. Like, exactly. But the way that they said, like, sir, we're approaching Dathomir, or we're on approach to Dathomir, and he was like, very good. Like, I think he has business on that planet. I think maybe, is he going to take over Maul's operation? Because as far as I know, the Night Sisters get wiped out in the Clone Wars, and Maul runs Crimson Dawn from Dathomir. I think him and his criminal organization were the last inhabitants of the planet before this. Right. Maybe we get Kira. Is Amelia Clark on the planet?
That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. I mean,
how many years though?
It would be 16 years after Solo. So, like, I mean, anybody can be any age in Star Wars. But, like, I think that could be interesting. But, yeah, I don't know. And then there are things to me that, like, I think there's issues where I go, okay, Balin and Shin, we don't know exactly what's going to happen with them. I trust that in Season 2, that's going to be the focus. But then there is stuff that, like, this specific episode, I would have loved a, like, Thrawn is back, like, all over the HoloNet or something, and, like, a shot of Mon Mothma and a shot of Senator Siono. Yeah, a shot. Maybe even a shot of, like, somebody as Leia, like, even from behind, just, like, hanging her head or something, I'm not not saying you have to bring in Leia. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
maybe something like that to just, like, show, like, that this is affected, like, that, oh my god, this news is out that Thrawn is back. And then maybe you get, like, a nice Ezra Hera moment where it's like, we're gonna fight him together, you know? But I do think it was missing that. I do think it was, like... But then again, I could be totally wrong because I don't know where they're going, and it could be that nobody does know that he's back, and that people still don't believe Ezra, and that he's keeping his return a secret. You know what I mean? It could be anything. But, what do you think? It was like specifically about like how this episode ended, for kind of like the reveal of information, I guess. Yeah.
I do agree with you. I think maybe you could show some sort of like thing like that, you know, like we've seen in like Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi. I forget if it was even Rise of Skywalker, but when like, oh, the Empire's either, maybe not Revenge of the Sith, but Return of the Jedi, you know, when Empire's defeated, we see all the cities, you know, cheering, you know, the Empire's gone. And you might see it in Rise of Skywalker too. I know you get obviously like them going back to the base, but so maybe you show something, but the opposite of like, oh, this thing is back.
Jar Jar crying.
Yeah, and not everybody, obviously, I feel like, I could be wrong, I guess. I feel like not everybody would be in tune to be like, oh yeah, that Grand Admiral Thrawn guy.
Yeah.
You know, but like obviously, you know, you have like a Mon Mothma or somebody like that.
Yeah, that's why like... to me, I feel like she was the perfect choice of just to get one shot of Genevieve. Maybe she's even on the ship with Hera or something. You know what I mean? Maybe she's even like... Or even you could do, you know, they did it that one time. They did a post-credit scene to tease Book of Boba Fett the once, and that was it. Maybe you do a post-credit or like a Ahsoka, and then one more scene right after that before it says directed by, you know, whatever. I think not from I'm trying to separate out, not from a perspective of like, oh, I'm mad that we didn't see that, but it'll be in the season 2. I think that's something that like doesn't fit in a season 2, but I think was a little necessary for the end of this episode. Was like, I think specifically that. I think specifically Mon Mothma having a moment of going, oh shit, and just letting that play out on Genevieve O'Reilly's face, I think would have been fantastic.
I think it helps to also kind of confirm their fears that you hear like in previous episodes.
Yeah, it helps, you know, why are we hearing so much about these senators' feelings on Thrawn if we're not going to meet up with it? Or even to tie back to Mando, like, give me a, you know, sir, we're approaching Sir, we're approaching Dathomir and Captain Pelion is waiting. You know, just to tie back to the Mando finale where you saw Pelion being like, Thrawn's going to be back any day now, don't worry, like... just something like that. I feel like there was those little tiny like threads that were kind of missed, but again, these are like small things. But I just think that really would have like hammered it home in those kind of final shots, like just Mon Mothma like looking down at like a pad or something and being just raising her head back up, like, oh my god, kind of like I heard somebody compare it to. Forgive me. You remember The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug?
Yeah, okay. I know the movie. I've never seen the movie. But
you've never seen it?
No.
Oh, wow, damn.
I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings guy, so
that's
I was
fair.
like, Hobbit, whatever.
At the end of that movie, they, you know, mistakes are made, and you know Bilbo fucks up, and so does other people. But like, Smaug gets out.
Okay.
And he desolates stuff.
Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
Benedict Cumberbatch, absolutely. He goes, last line of the movie goes, I am fire, I am death. And it's like, whoa. And then it's this giant dragon with Benedict Cumberbatch saying, I am fire, I am death. And then the camera shoots back over the water, and it just like goes up this ridge onto Martin Freeman's face, and he just goes, what have we done? And then it just cuts to black. And somebody was like, imagine if like that was this kind of ending. That would have been fantastic. Like that ending, I remember, like to a so-so movie to another so-so movie.
That's what you're saying. Like I could picture that being like people.
That
like,
ending was like, holy shit! Yeah. Like imagine that of like a Sabine being like, they shoot away and it just like whip pans into Sabine and it's just like, what have we done? Like something like that. But just that would have been so cool, and it felt a little more like, oh man, we got to deal with this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you wanted more weight.
Yeah,
you wanted to feel more weight.
Yeah, I did want to feel more weight, and it's again, it's like, I think this is like a big build. Like, I think a lot of people were thinking like, oh, it's gonna be Ahsoka season 1 and then the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think we're like way further out than people are thinking. I think we're gonna get an Ahsoka season 2. We're gonna get a Mando season 4. You know, we're gonna get a lot more time to build up this story. And now that Thrawn is back in the galaxy too, next time we see Bo-Katan, maybe Bo-Katan is the main character of Mando season 4, and maybe Bo-Katan is now dealing with Thrawn directly. You know what I mean? It's like Thrawn is not just an Ahsoka villain, whereas I think Baylan and Shin is Ahsoka villains. I would even love, again, I keep coming back to this, but I would love like a New Republic thing where maybe you get a show where Bo-Katan goes to meet up with Hera because they know each other, and then Ezra's there, and they they all do an attack on Thrawn or something. I don't know, but I just think there's so much more story to tell, and there's more than enough time to tell it that I am not like losing my mind over some of the bigger things that I'm like, oh, I would have liked the answer to that.
I was looking to see if I could see if anybody had any like reviews or something on Twitter, but I can't really find anything.
That's the other thing too, is like, how popular has the show been with audiences?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You know what I mean? I know that there was the numbers early on that it was low, but then apparently at episode 4 when Hayden showed up, there was a huge. Apparently the next week there was like the numbers like tripled. Apparently,
wow.
Yeah. So big. I guess it went to big numbers, but yeah. And then I do like that the very last shot was Anakin. Yeah, you know what I mean? I love everything that this show did for both Anakin and Hayden Christensen. I mean, I liked in Kenobi that it was like, yes, it's these two actors working together again.
Yeah. I mean, again, even though it was, a lot of, I feel like Hayden Christensen's kind of place in Kenobi was like those, those kind of like flashback, training scenes. Hands down, the best part of him and Ewan McGregor acting between each other, for me, again, was that like battle at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And when the mask, when the helmet, cracks and everything like that. Like, I think that show was fantastic to really let Hayden sink in and be Darth Vader, and to work with Ewan again. And to do that one flashback was really cool. This, to me, was like Hayden Christensen being a main character as Anakin Skywalker again. And that, to me, was like incredible. Yeah. I just thought, I loved it. And I thought he looked so like just... And obviously we're going to see him again at some point in Star Wars. But like, if we never see him again, ever... I mean, I was happy with Return of the Jedi. My whole childhood, Return of the Jedi is the last time you ever see... well, not my whole childhood, because his movies hadn't come out at a certain point. But post-2005, when you watch Star Wars, the last shot of damn near last shot of the whole franchise is Hayden Christensen smiling at Luke, and then Luke smiling back at him. And that's the end of it. So I liked that it kind of had that element, because it's like, sorry to all the Luke, mega fans out there, but like, because whether it's the year that I was born and when I grew up, but like, to me, Anakin Skywalker is Star Wars. And I think that this show has that more than anything. I think this show was like, Anakin Skywalker is the guy more than the prequels, probably not more than Clone Wars, obviously, but, I think it was that same Rebels level of like, this guy is like a super important guy, not just to the galaxy, but personally to the characters that we love. And I just thought it was great. What can I say? Yeah. And I love the name drop at the end. She was fighting her demons saying, like, I will not become like Anakin. And then right at the end, Thrawn goes, there's no telling how similar you may be. I thought that was great. Just throws it in her face right at the end. I thought that was fantastic. But yeah, and then early in the episode, there will be no negotiating with the Padawan or with the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker. I thought that was great. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
When's the next time we see Thrawn?
I think. I don't even know. What do we got? We got not an acolyte, not in. When do we know when Skeleton Crew takes place?
Now, this, yeah.
Okay, so maybe Skeleton Crew.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he recruits the pirates to work for him, because we know the pirate gang is going to be like the main villain in that.
Right. And I don't know what's that. What even is after that? Any shows or anything?
Well, Andor would be after. It would go Skeleton Crew, Acolyte, Andor, and then I would assume Mandalorian season 4.
So maybe.
Yeah, and then maybe Mando. 4? I think he would. He would be in Mando. Yeah, for sure. And then again, I think maybe there's going to be new stuff. Whatever the thing is, this show just ended. The writer's strike is over. Mm-hmm. Whatever's happening in the future, they're going to tell us soon. Because they're not going to, look at a tiny, no offense, but a tinier show like Ted Lasso. Look how upset the internet was that we still don't have the answer of is it the last season or is it not. They're not going to let this go 6 months without telling us when or if we're getting another season. You know what I mean? They're not just going to leave that in the wind. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow morning they go, check out the season 1 finale of Ahsoka. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of room to still go and see what's going on with this story. And I think, we got to understand it's going to take time to make these things. But hopefully it'll all pay off in the end. And if you're going... All right, last question here. Does this show overall make you more confident in Dave Filoni's movie? Less confident? Or where are you
at? I would say maybe it gives me a little bit more... I guess a little bit more confidence. I don't know... And you've probably seen this too on like Twitter or whatever, where people are like, so is it just gonna be like Ahsoka, Din and a bunch of ragtag team of people going up against Thrawn? And it's kind of like, I don't know if that's really what I really don't. I kind of hope it's not that. And I guess I am a little nervous that is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like this Avengers style type movie, because. As cool as Thrawn is like, I think it's just kind of different because his weapon is his like kind of intellectual.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I feel like if it were to be like some sort of team up movie, it would have to be like, he would have to be some sort of superpowered being or something like that. You know what I mean? So I guess, I don't know. I am impressed so far what Dave Filoni has kind of like done with all these different characters and making them interesting. But I guess, we'll see what happens when, as we probably get another season of obviously Ahsoka, Mandalorian, etc., and how that builds up to one project, I guess, in the end.
I put it down to, for his movie, I think I'm definitely more confident.
Yeah.
Just because I think from a writing perspective, I think he's doing better with live action for sure. And then I do think that episode 5 was easily the best live action episode that he's directed. I still will confidently say a couple weeks later, I still think episode 4 is my favorite and I think the best of this season. That was the Peter Ramsey one who directed Into the Spider-Verse. That was the first Ahsoka and Baylan fight, the one where Anakin shows up right at the end.
Right, yeah.
I still think that's the best episode, but I think Dave's episode 5 I think is a very close second.
Yep, agreed.
In a show with 8 good to great episodes, I would say. I'd say even the worst episodes of Ahsoka are still good. They're still good Star Wars, and I think are still much better than a lot of the more average episodes of every other show.
Yeah.
But the last thing I'll say about the movie is I think it's going to be okay, because think about Twilight of the Apprentice. Think about the Siege of Mandalore. Think about the Battle of Lothal. Think about these huge climactic endings. Think Bad Batch season 2 finale. You know what I mean? Think about these big climactic endings that Dave Filoni has either written directly or with Bad Batch has had his hands in. They none of them feel like an Avengers movie, but they all are dealing with tons of. Look at the Rebels finale. I think more than any of them. There's like 40 characters in the Rebels finale. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like everyone from Clancy Brown up to Thrawn to Governor Price to all these different people. I think that's more what his movie is going to feel like. I don't think it's going to be... And sure, audiences, I think, will be like, oh, look at all these characters from all the shows teaming up. You know what I mean? But it's like...
Yeah.
But I think if you make like a... Again, I think there should just be one show on Disney Plus, and I think it should just be called Star Wars. And then it's like every season, it's like oh, this one's focusing on Ahsoka. Yeah. This one, because I think that makes it easier for a lot of people's brains, because they go... Ahsoka's barely in this episode. What's going on? Mando's barely in this episode. What's going on? Some of the best episodes of Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston's in like 3 scenes. So, I think there's, don't even get me started with Game of Thrones. Half the time, the main characters aren't even in the episodes. I think all that is fine. I just think that's like Twitter blowing up at itself for no reason. But I do think it's going to feel more like that. It's like, it's not just going to feel like, hey, Mando, we need you over on Dathomir, Thrawn's... Mando, yeah. Thrawn's making an alliance with the pirates.
Like Ezra's walking around saying, I'm assembling a team.
Yeah, exactly. Like if Ezra... His name's Bridger. Ezra Bridger. I'm putting together a team. Din Djarin, right? You just became a part of a larger universe. You just
be my friend Boba Fett over here. He's a warlord on Tatooine.
Yeah. My name's Lando Calrissian. You're not Lando. But yeah, I think it'll feel like that. I think that it'll be Thrawn as the villain of the movie, and I think it's just gonna be, it's gonna be a lot of the Rebels gang, Ahsoka, Din, and Bo.
Yeah.
And I think really that's all you gotta do is you gotta kind of get Din and Bo, if you're even continuing with the character of Din and Boba Fett. I think I don't see this movie happening and not including like Fennec and Boba Fett in some way. I think you just find a way to get all those people naturally together, and then boom, that's your group that's dealing with the fallout in the movie. You know what I mean? I think that's it. I think it's very easy to write a movie with a villain, and the goal is to stop that villain. Like I feel like not everything has to be Avengers Endgame, and I think that's. And I'm not saying that's you. I'm saying that's a lot of the internet is just like this whole talk of like it's gonna be an Avengers style team up. No one has ever said that in an official capacity, but like that's just where everyone's brain is at. But I think it'll be fine again because I think Dave has shown time and time. If he's shown one thing time and time again, it's that he can handle multiple characters, doing everything like that. And I think if they knew that this was gonna be one season, I think you would have seen. You would have probably seen a smaller, more condensed story to begin with, but I think you definitely would have gotten those answers. You know what I mean? I don't think that they didn't give answers to certain things going, it would be great if we could continue this in some way. You know what I mean? Like, if only there was an avenue to do that. I think a lot of this stuff is purposefully left so that you can revisit it. But I've been talking far too long. Anything else?
That's it.
In the Ahsoka finale.
No, I think we're done.
All right. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us for the Ahsoka finale. Unfortunately for us, Loki is starting this Thursday. I know I am closing at work, so I will not be around to do an immediate reaction right away, but I still might have one going up late at night. I haven't been doing as many immediate reactions for Ahsoka just because we've been doing these live watch-alongs and everything like that and then clipping out the review afterwards. So make sure you're checking those out. But I will be going back to doing immediate reactions to every episode for Loki. And then we are going to try our best to every week put up its own Loki episode review together. And then we'll also obviously still be doing the show on Tuesdays and everything, so we'll be able to talk about it then as well. But other than that, thank you guys for joining us for this entire adventure of going down the entire show of Ahsoka. I'm really glad that we decided to go through with these watch parties and everything. Other than that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. I have been one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
I've been your host, TJ Cornell. Thank you for watching. Check out our other reviews on the channel. Please follow us on our social medias. And we will see you next time.
Boom.